You fight very well. Now let's see if you can run!
Jet Li's Rise to Honor. Man, this video game is one of the biggest gems out there that debuted on the PS2, and man, what a time capsule during this time period when this game was coming out, especially with the rise of so many different beat-em-ups that were going on. I put that in my personal list of favorite beat-em-up games up there with Jackie Chan's Stuntmaster on the PlayStation 1. And man, Lord, this brings me back so much memories looking back at this. We're definitely going to be breaking down not only the creation behind this game, the ups and downs, the nook and cranny, the mechanics, everything. So look forward in today's video as we take a deep dive into the criminal underworld within Rise to Honor. Rise to Honor was developed by Sony's Foster City Studio, known for their work on certain PlayStation exclusives. What made this project stand out was the direct involvement of Jet Li himself, both lending his likeness and performing motion capture for the game's fight sequences. Adding to the cinematic flair, the game was directed by Corey Yuen, a legendary action choreographer famous for his work in classic martial art films and Hollywood films out there too, like The Transporter, The Bodyguard from Beijing, a personal Jet Li favorite film of mine, and many more. So the big vision for this game was pretty much born. Create an interactive martial arts movie, blending fast-paced action with the story-driven experience, and they really captured that like 100%. What really set Rise to Honor apart was its dual analog stick combat system, which is where some action games started experimenting with quite a lot. Instead of using traditional button combos, attacks were mapped entirely to the right analog stick. Flick the stick in any direction would strike enemies in that direction, allowing like a full 360 combat control. And your left analog stick still controlled your movement, while your shoulder buttons handled stuff like blocking, jumping over objects, and using the environment for cinematic moves. The game also featured an adrenaline mode. Think of like a bullet time mechanic of The Matrix or Max Payne, but it also allowed players to dodge bullets and chain flashy combos to do big boy damage to enemies, which would stun lock enemies super hard. The control scheme was super ambitious, but many games that used this control scheme came at a cost, really. Despite the star power and innovation of martial arts and action, Rise to Honor didn't achieve the success of other beat-em-up action games out there like God of War or Devil May Cry. Why is that? Well, the learning curve. The analog-based combat, while creative, felt uneasy to many players. Unlike traditional combos, flicking attacks with the right analog stick really just didn't satisfy so many players out there, especially the rhythm that you would get in a Devil May Cry game that most people are used to, along with the repetitive gameplay. While the combat is very flashy, the enemy variety and mission designs were often repetitive. Many critics felt the game relied too heavily on style over substance. Also, the stealth level sometimes just felt like it was against you. Due to the jerky and janky nature of the game sometimes, bugs will appear in the middle of you doing stealth runs, or the AI will just randomly break patterns. While trying to take out guards, you will sometimes forget the analog stick controls to take them out. I lost count how many times in the later near endgame levels I just wanted to hurry up and get them over with. I remember even as a kid, I didn't enjoy them and just wanted to go back to fighting or another shooting level, in my personal opinion. One of the jankiness of that I'm talking about sometimes when it comes to like you dodging or vaulting over objects and stuff like that, you can immediately run into that issue in the second level upstairs. Like if you decide to run on the wall, for whatever reason, it just bugs out like crazy. And that kept happening to me so many times. And even on the third level in certain segments. So I really just have no clue what was up with that. Another issue that I feel the game was also its depth. Compared to other beat 'em ups of the era, Rise to Honor lacked RPG elements, skill trees, or weapon upgrades, which made it feel shallow over time as you kept playing the game, since it's very straightforward. Your moves stayed the same throughout the game. No upgrades, no anything. So this experience of the game, it is more of a straight cinematic story experience, is the best way I can put it. You're literally playing an interactive martial arts film. Certain level segments throughout the game, you end up meeting up with one of your friends, Michelle, who acts as another interactive combat element to the game, to where you do these double attacks and so many like full adrenaline mode stuff, like just to do crowd control, which I thought was very interesting. But good God, that AI, I completely forgot that her AI is really just hog water. So you really have to keep your eye on her to make sure she does not take so much damage throughout whatever level that you're on with her. Another big bullet point I will say is the mixed reviews that help this game. It received average scores from so many major outlets, praised for its cinematic flair, but criticized for the clunky mechanics and a pretty short campaign with nothing else content-wise. So you pretty much can like finish this game in a solid afternoon. Like literally, I want to say at best maybe 1 to 2.5 hours. If you're like just breezing through, maybe less than that. But yeah, it's a pretty short campaign, I will say. Interestingly, a sequel was reportedly in early development in 2005 from SCA. The plan was to refine the combat system, the open environments, and build on the narrative much more, but it never saw the light of day. The exact reason remains pretty unclear, but it likely boiled down to the first game's lukewarm reception and Sony's shift towards more proven franchises. Jet Li's focus on doing more movie work and the rise of more polished action titles at the time may have sealed the sequel's fate too, because around that time, he was pretty much in so many different films left and right. Despite its flaws, Rise to Honor remains a pretty fascinating piece of martial arts gaming history. It dared to be different, with Jet Li's influence felt in every single frame, from the fluid fight choreography to the story's cinematic presentation. And you can feel the love for martial art films just oozing out of this title. While it never achieved mainstream success, it has earned a small but loyal fan base who still appreciate its ambition and style, being in the hallmark of fame among other games like Absolver and Sifu, just to name some examples. Sadly, I really could not dig up any more information on that canceled sequel, but would you have played the sequel if by chance it did come into fruition? Would you have want one? What do you think what truly went wrong with Rise to Honor in your personal opinion? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into martial art video game history
and just many more other beat 'em up action games that I end up covering on the channel now these days. Join the 36 Chambers Discord to play, chat, or just hang out and just hang out with the community, just message and stuff like that. Because soon I will be doing some more community events in there. Probably maybe this Tuesday I'll probably do something like Outbreak or even just like something random. I will say it doesn't have to be fighting game wise. It can just be like co-op or Marvel Rivals or just literally anything. But yeah. But anyways, folks, until next time, y'all stay safe out there and get ready for the next coverage out there when it comes to Oni. Because, ooh boy, I have a lot that I want to say about that game. But until next time, y'all, peace.
The study of Kung Fu fighting.